Hey, what is going on, Scorpios? The kind of show there. Butch Tarot here. I am going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to be using the Wild Reflections Tarot. Absolutely love this deck. I highly recommend it. Absolutely beautiful artwork. Anyway, with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, message do we have for Scorpios? What is going on for Scorpio? Let me see for Scorpios. Alright, Scorpios. Wow. Let's get into it. So the first thing I see, Scorpios, I feel like there's this very intense connection. I feel like it started off intense. I mean, I feel like it was like, it started off with this look, like you locked eyes with this person. And it seemed like forever. You know, I mean, with this person, I mean, you got them, they're thinking about you and only you. They're fantasizing about you. You know, they're just absolutely drawn to you. You know, and I feel like all this person wants to do is be next to you, be near you. You know, coming up with reasons to be closer to you. Like I said, I mean, they're fantasizing about you in every way, shape, and form. You know, I feel like with this person, I mean, you did something to them. Because I feel like this person, we have open communication. I feel like this person, it's like they can't keep a secret from you. You know, they're just open. You know, with that Eight of Swords in reverse and the Eight of Wands upright, you know, very open communication. I feel like this person just wants to tell you everything. You know, there's something that you do to this person that makes them just want to be straightforward. And that's a hell of a way to start with a Scorpio, because Scorpios don't like bullshit. They don't like games. They don't like lies. And this person, that's exactly what you're getting. You know, there's this fearlessness with this connection. And I feel like very honest, very direct. Like they can talk to you about anything. And I feel like they will talk to you about anything. And I feel like you can talk to them about anything. It's very intense from the very beginning, and it's all happening very quickly. I mean, with that Queen of Swords, it's that very direct energy. You know, with the Nine of Swords in reverse, it's very fearless. Like, they're not afraid to be honest with you. They're not afraid to tell you how they feel. And they're feeling a lot of things. And like I said, I mean, it all happens very, very quickly. It started with that look. You locked eyes with this person. They can't keep their eyes off you. They can't keep their mind off you. You know, and this gets deep very quickly. I mean, we got that Lover's card. You know, this is a deep connection from the moment you locked eyes, and it only gets deeper. And we're seeing how far this rabbit hole goes. Like I said, I mean, they just feel like they can just tell you anything without judgment. And I feel like you can tell them anything without judgment. I feel like there's this establishment of trust from the very beginning with this person. You know, if I'm going to be, I can't hold this back. I'm going to say it. I mean, they're all yours. They're falling hard and fast, and they're not trying to stop it. I mean, it all started with that, like I said, that first look. They were just drawn to you. You know, with that Queen of Swords energy. I mean, that Aries energy. They saw what they wanted, and they're not, you know, all eyes on you. You know, with that Lover's card, it's a deep connection that only gets deeper and deeper. I mean, you know, with that Fool card, they're all in. You know, with this person, this is type of energy that they have for you is all or nothing. And they're all about the all. You know, I want to go back to this because when we talked about that first look, that first, you know, locking eyes, exactly what we're seeing in this picture. We got two people, you know, it doesn't even matter what else is around. This is how they feel when they're around you. They could be alone with you or in a crowd, and it wouldn't make a difference. I mean, they just want to touch you. They just want to hold you. They just want to be with you. They just want to soak you in. And like I said, I mean, there's no hidden agendas here with this person. There's no bullshit. There's no, you know, playing games. You know, I want to do a video sometime about ins and outs of all signs. A lot of people have been mentioning me doing that. One of the things with Scorpios is they're very intuitive in the fact that if you're trying to bullshit them, they're going to know about it. And they're not going to like it. And another thing with Scorpios, you don't want to piss them off. You don't want to get on the bad side. You want to stay on the good side. But once you're on the good side, once you get in with a Scorpio, you know, they're not overly quick to tell you they love you. It doesn't mean they won't feel it. My sister is a Scorpio, and one of the things she said to me one time was actually funny. She said, like, her boyfriend that she's with now, she said, I fell in love with him before I even knew it. Like, she was in love before she even admitted to herself. But once you're in, you know, once you're in their circle, I mean, it's all about the love. It's all about the passion. It's all about that deep connection. And like I said with this person, there's no bullshit. And like I was gonna say, don't piss off a Scorpio because they may be the scariest person to piss off, in my opinion. That just goes because of my sister. She's, you know, I've told stories about my sister before, and trust me, I've pissed her off plenty of times in my life, and I don't think I've ever not regretted any of them. Like I said, I mean, with this person being open and just being so open, it's not just about being open. It's not just about, you know, answering questions honestly or being genuine. That's really establishing trust here. It's the fact that they go over and above with honesty. Like, they don't keep anything from you. You know, this person is telling you their deepest, darkest secrets, and they can't help themselves. You know, with that Knight of Pentacles, that's all I want to do is tell you. Now, other than what we've already talked about, them being able to be open with you, I mean, I feel like this person's been betrayed before, so that really puts a bigger scope on this. You know, them being able to be open with you causes huge transformation in this person. It gives them balance. It gives them something they've ever had before. They can be honest and open and find that balance in it. You know, I love the symbolism in cards, especially this deck. But we have the dark and the light. They can be in the middle of it all. You know, they can share it all with you, the good, the bad, the ugly. And that causes this huge transformation of this person, makes this person feel more complete. It's not just about how they see you physically. It's not just how they feel you emotionally. It's how you make them feel in themselves. You know, there's an incredibly strong bond here, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Like I said, this is only developing. This is getting deeper and deeper. It's got to be one of the most intense readings I've ever seen. You know, and Scorpios like it intense. We have the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, that new love, that lifelong bond. Like, I don't even feel like I'm going on a limb here. I feel like this is that one. That one in a billion. You know, and I mean, like I said, what you give them without even meaning to is that balance. You know, getting to see things in a different perspective. And they're just going to love you more for it. Like I said, with that King of Cups, that's an emotional, you know, emotionally mature energy. This is not just a crush. I feel like it started off maybe for an instant that way. I mean, they were absolutely drawn to you. Now, absolutely love this. This is the part that I seen in the very beginning because they came right after the other. Is we have the Empress and the Empress. It's like that forming of that bond, the masculine, the feminine, the nurturer, the protector. I feel like this person's gonna want to be both for you. You know, they're gonna want to keep you safe, but they're also gonna want to, you know, they're gonna want to keep you safe and protected. And I know a lot of people think that sounds like the same thing, but it really isn't. You know, you can have someone that keeps you safe, but you don't feel protected. You know, or you can have someone that protects you, but you necessarily may not feel taken care of. This person offers you both. You know, it's the masculine and the feminine coming together. You know, you're allowing them to be something that they could never freely be before. You know, and there's no fighting this. There's no want to fight. You know, with that 5 of Wands in reverse, I mean, there's no walking away. There's no want to walk away. I mean, this person's all about you, and I feel like they're going to give you their loyalty, their love, their respect, and their time. You know, like I said, I mean, I feel like they just feel like they're alone in the world with you, and that's absolutely okay. The look that I'm feeling, though, it's intense. It's like, I don't know what the hell that came out of nowhere. It was like that look when you see the person, you lock eyes with them, you have no idea how much time is even passing. Everybody else is kind of like tunnel, you know, it's like tunnel vision. Everybody else is just kind of blurry and doesn't even matter. That's the type of energy I feel like with this first look, and it just gets, that in itself is very intense. But that's only the beginning of the intensity here. That's what I said. This might be one of the most intense readings I've ever. I mean, I feel like I'm falling a little bit. But to finish this off, you're not like anyone either one of you have ever met before. You know, with that 6 of Cups in reverse, this is something completely different. It's that next level shit. And like I said, with this person, it's all or nothing. So you're getting it all. I mean, they didn't see you coming. But once they saw you, they can't unsee you. Now with this person, I mean, we have a lot going on here. We have Libra, we have Gemini, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. We have some Aries and Sagittarius. Taurus and Virgo. You know, it's like locking eyes across a room or across the street, or, you know, in my head, the reason I just laughed is because I got this vision of someone like catching eyes with you and like walking into like a street sign or some type of thing, or walking into a wall. You know, they just had to know you. There was no other choice. They had to know you. And the more they know you, the more they want to know you. Like I said, with Scorpios, Scorpios are not... Now, this is not putting any shade on any other water sign, but Scorpios are not quite like other water signs. They don't admit to falling in love easily. You know, and what I mean by that is, you know, like Pisces and Cancer are more apt to fall in love very quickly and just embrace it. Scorpios are more, they know it long before they tell you. It's not that they don't or can't fall in love easily. Anybody can. It's that they don't tell you about it until they know they can trust you, until they know you. You know, and like I said, that's why it's always important to be honest with a Scorpio, be direct, be trustworthy, and be loyal. Because if you give them all that, you're gonna get it back tenfold. You know, it's one of the best investments you could ever make. Like I said, I mean, my sister, absolutely love my sister. She's like a second mom to me because she's 12 years older than me. She's always taken care of me and stuff, but we've had our clashes. And like I said, my sister can smell bullshit. I've tried to bullshit her a few times when I was young. You know, where were you last night? Why were you out so late? What time did you get home? What were you doing? Like, she used to drill me with the questions. And, you know, or I remember, like, I'd be like, hey, can I borrow $10? My sister would be like, okay, what do you need $10 for? And then, like, you know, she was the hardest person to like, bullshit. I just remember my mom, I'd be like, hey, can I get $10? She's like, sure, what are you doing? And I just tell her, okay, here's $10. My sister's like, what are you doing? I'm doing this. Well, okay, so, you know, I remember specifically this one time I was going to the movies, and I told her I was going to the movies, and she said, okay. I said, can I borrow $20, you know, because I always worked, but I wasn't very good with my money when I was little. I mean, I'm talking about, I was like 13, 14 years old at the time. I had paper roads, mowed lawns, did all kinds of crazy stuff. But I always had money coming in. I wasn't good with it, though. And I was like, can I borrow $20 till Friday when I get paid? She's like, what do you need $20 for? I'm like, well, I was going to go to the movies. What movie are you going to? And I was like, well, I don't know yet. And she's like, what movies were you thinking about going to? What movies are playing? And the whole time I'm like sitting there trying to think of stuff. And I was long story short, I wasn't going to the movies. She knew I wasn't. I was going to go buy some marijuana. And then we just went through this whole dance, and she just kept picking apart my story. And then finally, she's like, "What do you really want the money for?" I'm like, "Well, I was gonna go get some weed." And she's like, "Why didn't you just say that?" And she ended up giving me the money. But it was funny because we always had this dance. Like when it came to anything, you know, it was always like she just wanted the truth. She didn't care. She really didn't. She just wanted the truth. But because, like I said, she was like this mother figure to me. And when I pissed her off, she would use a lot of that against me. I always try to like get one over on her, but she was always 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of me. Like I said, don't bullshit a Scorpio because they'll know. You know, that was just one of the many stories I have of my sister. You know, like I love her to death, but it was just fun when you're a kid. You know what I mean? You get one over on your sister. Like my sister's the type of person, like her and my dad were really close. So if I gave her any information I didn't want my dad to have, that was bad for me. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons I kind of try to keep her in the dark about things, but it was never successful. Like I remember this last story, I promise. I remember this one time I wanted to go to a friend's house, and I wasn't allowed to hang out with him. I was like 16, maybe 17. My parents forbid it. You know, he was a kid that got in trouble a lot, and his parents were always gone, so he always had house parties and stuff. So I wasn't allowed to go there. And I remember I asked her for a drive. I said, "Can I get a drive to my friend's house?" And she's like, "Where does he live?" And I said, "Okay, he lives over there." So I got her to drive me to a place 2 houses down from the friend that wasn't allowed to go to his house. And she's like, "Isn't this where the guy you're not allowed to hang out with lives?" I'm like, "No, he lives over there." She's like, "Oh, okay." So I get out of the car, and she sits there. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I want to watch you walk in the house." I'm like, "Okay, well, I don't know this person, so that's what I'm thinking to myself. I don't know whose house I just got to drive you to. I was just going to get out of the car, her drive away, and I was going to go to my buddy's house." And I was like, I'm like, "Why would you do that?" She's like, "Well, because I just want to make sure this is where you're going." And I remember we sat there for a few minutes, and I was like, "Okay, I was just going to go over there." She's like, "Get back in the car." So I got back in the car, she drove me home. I know it was an exciting story, but it was just funny because she knew. I don't know how she knew, but I guess she was just older and wiser, and she's probably done her own sneaky shit in her day, so she knew all the ins and outs. But it was just funny because she was like, called me on my bluff. And I was even tempted to go up to the door and knock on it, but then I was thinking, like, what am I going to say to this person? Like, do you have a kid my age? Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.